Sonic Adventure is one of the best Sonic games of all time, and in my opinion, one of the best 3D platformers of the late 90s. This game gets a lot more hate than it deserves, although people seem to be coming around to it again recently, which you love to see. In my opinion, this is one of the best Sonic games ever. I think it's also time that we sit down and realize something. This game is at least on the same level as Super Mario 64. I mean, for starters, this game controls better. Whoa. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. To understand why Sonic Adventure is just so good, we need to go back to the start of the game. The game opens with an absolutely insane CGI cutscene. I mean, yeah, it does kind of spoil the story, but it's awesome. Visually, it's not that impressive by today's standards, but it's the way the music builds as these seemingly random shots play out, only to suddenly kick in as Sonic appears. It's so good. Also, when Perfect Chaos comes out of the building and it's like, does that little countdown, when you reach the menu, you can pick between 6 different characters, although initially everyone is locked except Sonic. I don't know about you guys, but I bought this game to play as E102Y, so this is bullshit. So you start playing as Sonic and immediately you're thrown into a boss fight against a new villain, Chaos. I don't know if starting the game with a boss fight is really that great of an idea, but it's not difficult, so it isn't really an issue. Also, I should mention that I'm using the better SADX mod for the footage you're seeing here. I didn't want to use any kind of mods for this video, but this is literally the only way to get the game to run in widescreen. Because yeah, okay, release your game in 2011 and just completely forget about widescreen, that makes sense.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Anyway, it's time to dive into the first level. Get it? Dive, because it's a beach and there's water everywhere. This is where you can really get to grips with Sonic's moveset and figure out how the game works. The best part is that this really is just a classic style 2D Sonic game in 3D. You've got your spin dash, which can now be used whilst moving, allowing you to gain an instant burst of speed, as well as reach higher areas by propelling yourself off of slopes. And it's got the layered level design that rewards you for getting onto the higher paths. Holy shit, that's a whale. The multiple pathways really are a constant throughout. Every level has some kind of reward or shortcut for taking a different route. Like right at the beginning of Emerald Coast, you can just spin dash up here and completely skip this entire section. I'm not sure if this was intentional, but it's so fun. This later shortcut definitely isn't intentional though. On top of this, there are new moves, those being the homing attack, allowing you to instantly jump into enemies or capsules, and the light speed dash, which lets you defy gravity by following a trail of rings or a line of flying enemies. So imagine you meet someone and they've only ever played a 2D Sonic game. Or better yet, go back to fucking 1994 when Sonic and Knuckles had come out, and you go up to this person and you say to them, how do you imagine Sonic in 3D? They'd probably come back to you with this. No, they'd probably come back to you with this. Wait, no, definitely no. What is this? They'd probably picture something kind of like this. Obviously, it's not exactly the same as the classic games, but the core idea of Sonic is presented here with the necessary adjustments made. They didn't completely throw out the core idea of what Sonic was, even if they would end up doing that later anyway.
We need to talk about this!
The cutscenes. Sonic Adventure is the first game in the series to feature a full voice cast, and I guess they did the best with what they were given. It's really not great, and the animations are hilariously out of sync and overblown. In my opinion though, this really adds to the charm of the game. Is it terrible on an objective level? 100%. The acting is stilted and awkward. A lot of the time the characters just kind of pause mid-sentence. It would be like me talking, but the words come out after I say them, and there's a really weird pause between what I say. It doesn't make much sense, does it? I know that looking at this for what it is, it's shit, but it's just too funny to get mad about. They even snuck in some hidden details, so it's not like they weren't trying. Like after the cutscene with Tails at the pool, you can talk to this woman and she's all like, oh yeah, I heard what he said. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to overhear you. Bitch, you just recited the whole conversation. All you wanted to do was overhear. There's even some parts where you can kind of tell the audio was recorded in a room and not a professional studio. What is this, a zombie gorilla video? So now we've got the cutscenes out of the way, let's talk about the actual story. This was the first Sonic game to have a proper story. Sure, the previous games did too, and I touched upon them in my videos on those, but this actually has slightly more meat. I say slightly because at the end of the day, it's still Blue Hedgehog go fast, stop that guy. All you really need to know is that Eggman is attempting to use a creature known as Chaos to take over the world. Chaos can feed off of the Chaos Emeralds, using them to gain strength and body mass. Basically, he gets all the rewards of going to the gym without having to go, which is just teasing me. So Sonic and Tails attempt to stop Eggman from powering up Chaos, but they fail. No, really, they actually fuck it up. Along the way, you see some of the ensemble cast like Knuckles, Amy, and Big, all of whom have their own stories that run alongside Sonic's. These help fill in a few of the gaps with the story, but they aren't really that important in the grand scheme of things. So let's say you're getting bored of playing as Sonic. Well, that's where the other characters come into play. Do you feel like playing fishing? No? Well, you have to. This is Sonic Adventure's most controversial edition. When people speak about this game, they jump on two things. The animations as discussed previously, which I think are too fun to hate, like come on, and the fishing. Now, I don't get why people have a problem with my boy Big here. Dude is vibing, one of my favourite characters, because unlike these hyperactive crazy people, Big just wants to chill. He doesn't even want any part in this, he just wants to go fishing and hang with his pal Froggy. But there really is no way to defend this though, it's really not good at all. For starters, it's fishing. Obviously this is not a good fit for a Sonic game, but if it was fast fishing, maybe it'd be okay. Think like Jak and Daxter's fish minigame. It isn't though, it's painfully slow and you spend all of your time fighting the camera. The game gives you no direction as to how you're meant to play these sections, and it just results in an experience that is completely tedious and not fun at all. The worst part being that this isn't optional. Big doesn't really add anything to the overall story of the game. He's a pointless addition. You could make the same argument about both Amy and Gamma, the difference being that those characters are actually quite fun. Speaking of, Gamma. The answer to all the Sonic fans that said we want to shoot stuff before they went completely insane and made a game about Shadow shooting aliens with a weird racial undertone. Gamma is a blast to play. See what I did there? A blast because he shoots people? Fuck you. Unlike this monstrosity, he's actually fast paced like a Sonic game should be. You gotta run around and shoot stuff to get your timer to stay up, because if you run out of time, you die. I guess this is the only way they could think of to make it more difficult, but is it difficult? No. But despite his gameplay being easy, Gamma has the best boss fights, hands down. They're just so intricately designed with so much strategy needed to overcome each obstacle. Gamma is an interesting case as he's the first time we get to see the other side of the story. A robot created by Eggman to serve. Gamma ends up becoming a good guy anyway, eventually being destroyed and returning to his animal form, but I appreciate getting something a little bit different to the usual. Getting back to the usual, how about the existing Sonic characters that I didn't mention? Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. Tails plays almost like Sonic, keyword being almost. He doesn't have a spin dash or homing attack, but he can fly and do a spin kick. In these levels, your goal is to beat Sonic across a stage. These levels are stupidly easy, and I don't want to pull the broken card here, but like, I don't know if they designed it this way on purpose? Tails can fly across almost entire levels. See all this stuff on the ground? Yeah, just ignore it, it's not that important. But I really don't want to say that this is bad, because I think these are really fun. Just because they're probably broken doesn't mean that they're bad, it adds to the appeal. You guys remember Amy? She was in Sonic CD for like maybe 2 minutes at most? No? Anyway, Amy makes her return in this game as a hammer-swinging, Sonic-obsessed maniac. Not really sure what to say about this. She has 3 levels where you have to outrun a robot named Zero. No, not that one. This is fine, it plays well enough, but like, what can I even say? You can use the hammer to hit enemies and also to fling yourself up in the air and gain momentum. The fun in these stages comes from attempting to maintain your momentum for as long as possible, as Amy builds up speed really slowly. I guess I could say that about it. And last, but certainly not least, we've got Knuckles. The red boy is back. In these levels, you go hunting for pieces of the Master Emerald. You've got to find 3 of these in a stage by either destroying enemies, digging, or I don't know, sometimes just kind of sitting in the open. Anyway, these are really good. They sound like they'd be tedious, but they end up being fun. Knuckles has a rap song as his theme tune. It's just like, oh, it's so good.
Knock, knock, it's Knuckles.
Each of these characters traverse hub worlds leading to the levels of the game. These are fine, I'd honestly prefer if they weren't here, but I do like a lot of the small details included throughout. Stuff like when you come out of the sewer into the shop and the dude's all like, yo, what the fuck, how did you get in the back? In these hub worlds you also find upgrades for the characters. These are minor things that give each character a slight edge. Sonic gains the light speed dash as mentioned previously. Tails gains an upgraded kick, you get the point. Another thing you can also discover are hidden entrances to the Chow Gardens. I didn't touch the Chow though. So let's talk about that ending, huh? Tails has obtained all the Chaos Emeralds. Wait, Tails? Chaos has obtained all the Chaos Emeralds, he's betrayed Eggman and become perfect Chaos, bringing ruin to Station Square. So, using the remaining power of the Emeralds, which for some reason Chaos doesn't keep inside him during his perfect form, not so perfect really, is it? Sonic transforms into Super Sonic for one last showdown against Chaos. And yeah, that's Sonic Adventure DX. I don't know why I'm holding the GameCube version. I played it on PC, but it's pretty good. I like it. It's one of my favourite Sonic games. I always love coming back to this one, with the exception of the big stuff, which can fuck off. But everything else is really great. I really do think this is one of the best Sonic games ever. It's definitely one of my favourite games. It's one of these games from my childhood that I come back to and I'm like, wow, this is really good. I always like this. So yeah, I mean, that's what I gotta say. My hair is a mess because of quarantine. What the fuck is going on here? But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Next time, I think we're going to be looking at Adventure 2. I think so. So I'll see you then.